2. Breathe, breathe. 4 in, on.
Whoa! What a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a... Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewer. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself...
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base. Faster? Okay, faster. Melus, we're back!
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle, and our most... You said before that you still had some business at the court.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You see, you still remember, right, Melus?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call...
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that...
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost certain that if you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as and if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety, while lacking energy to do anything. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse, and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath. But no matter how much they threatened or bribed, not only that, Boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation.
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. Finally, he was able to convince someone to become his... The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to meet up and exchange information with Jacques over some food. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they...
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. there were pieces of clothing left at the scene. Precisely. It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were... But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belong to a third person at the scene. With one extra person, we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired. You're right. We still don't know what happened. But my intuition tells me that we're...
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on... I think this third person is probably the key. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina di Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaninglessly? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day, and I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and...
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss... But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left, and the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands on some key, but as long as you remained safe, he would not share. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victim.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be
That fool. No. He might have set up everything precisely because... Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have just lived out my life. But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case... Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with you?
It's the location where Synth is produced. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy, you'll still have to take several things.
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may be able to find inside. No, but a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed.
Then, in that case, why not work with the...
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no...
That's true. But things are different now. It should be a lot easier to prove the other side.
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and...
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the...
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with... When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reaction. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have given them the news. After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, I've narrowed the suspect list. The first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people Boss trusted the most, which, thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, he always knew our upcoming plan. There's someone else like him, too. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. Boss helped it to grow to its current size and prominence. In the beginning, they were only reselling some daily goods, but now they're one of the richest guilds around with a lot of business.
So, they're like a sister organization?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, it's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, there are still many... Since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically always plan...
I see. These? To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging...
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of...
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving Boss's innocence would also mean clearing him of... After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. They still live in Poisson today. If it might help, you could also pay them a visit. I can make the necessary arrangements.
Oh, thank you so much, Malus. You really are the best.
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth and end this case once...
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and enjoy your conversation at your
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time.
If it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died,
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so neat.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as... I know only the full truth could bring closure to you.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe...
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his...
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, even if he fired the shot that killed my husband. It was likely in self-defense.
But Mama, why is Papa still the... Papa always wanted to be a good man, so why did...
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel...
Yeah, Papa was a really good man.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done...
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth.
Thank you. And even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first...
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. The ranch should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned...
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, after my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should... Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that...
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling... After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed... But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callis ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the... But hold on. If that's what had happened, he didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor. And did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone...
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth—
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole callous the unfaithful epithet. As many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callous. But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always—
Don't worry. I will You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well. Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've caught news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances—
I mean, where I work, it's really up to me. Callus did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rosula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours?
Yes. These two. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my—
Ah, I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? If you want to go through the original files from your father—
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another—
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence.
Well, you see, just recently, we were— So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of—
Then you think too highly of my ability. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost— So I can promise you, those mecha were they're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though—
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guard.
Hello, how may I help you?
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know?
Sure, I will let him know right away.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Yes, I've never seen anything.
Oh, you were at the opera.
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole... I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite to beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf. I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunk.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact...
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're...
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side...
Oh, and what make...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the Primordial. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a... But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can... If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use it...
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to... Do you have any new thoughts on my father's...
About that. Sorry, my age is... The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to... Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask...
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need more. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes.
We've talked to all three suspects.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's...
But where should we start? Ah, you're right.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that... If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a...
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father. Makes sense. But without evidence, besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead?
Given everything that's happened since, but who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Uncle Marcel? My father did really... And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of It's still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight his own... Florent? It is true that he... But... As Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security. So
you're saying he's too broke to afford...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to... Thierry, you say? Huh. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to... If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when it...
Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down.
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possess... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes. Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extreme. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trial?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What? Is that...
Yeah, we know him.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearance.
Wait, how? None of our
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigation.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found...
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear
I understand. Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, the culprit's attention will... You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it...
We'll help you, just like you helped us in
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malus, Silver.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured it's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the tour.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Malus's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. Ah, you're right. An important place like this is bound to to have a ton of protective measures. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right? I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for—
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the opera. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to—
That case had nothing to do with him! You've got the wrong man!
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial and if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge?
That person is... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false.
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the... Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away. Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies, sir. It all just happened so quick. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and...
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, Please present.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really? Come on. Why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before—
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while the guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through it. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed. These are the known facts about the case.
the one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, in truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from— Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea. Something's not right. This assassin first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him. A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a but now it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder. Since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice. The testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. However, unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility. Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques.
that's what happened.
Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial...
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine... 1. Do you have the evidence to back up your claim?
I'm afraid not.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just...
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would...
Why do I feel like Farina's acting...
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again.
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved...
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt that the dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had... But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue that I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house...
So... You mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken account in my line of work. I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are...
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearance?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Not much you can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyway.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's, but the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, demoiselle.
No, it's not your
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the sea? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations, right? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me. And the biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth, while that same agency has long been taken from them. The people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some— And whose image do you— Is it a man named Vacher?
Huh.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Life goes on.
Do your worst!
Don't blink! Go and fly!
Yield! Do your worst!
Go and fly! Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That... go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up. Ways away from where we need to go. Go. Speed of light. Hey! Life goes on. Don't blink! Hey! With sword comes shadow. Yield!
Hear my prayer!
Go.
Incoming! Wind, hear me! Flee! Speed of light! Yield! Go and fly! Don't blink! Hey!
Orders given. Orders received. Life goes on.
Cut to the chase! Incoming!
After all that, though as expected, the mastermind. That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some... Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water. That means this is where they make all the synth. And if you dilute it with Paimon, will take notes on this and... Let's see what's written here. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him. Yep. It's about finding someone to assassinate. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the exact content. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is... I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. What's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things? Huh? You mean the girls from the series? And then they were turned into all the boxes of things. These names. What's this over here? Looks like some... Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial... The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Females... Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. How can someone write something that terrible? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's why he did all of... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. Ah, you mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments? So that's it! Vache was no victim. But personally, no, that's not it either. If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface incense that probably just contained the waters of the Mixing in progress. Ready to... Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's... We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our theories were Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever... That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. You take that side, and Paimon will take this side. Ugh. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vignier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her... Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. So many! A whole page's worth! The final name she decided... Marcel! Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vignier's grown son? Hey!
And whose image do you see, Mars? Is it a man named Oh.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone
I was waiting.
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of...
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect...
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair, and we already know after your lover, Vignier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back. You even created Marcel as a new identity, and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive had...
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? ever empathized with my pain, ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes. No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't be dissolved, no matter what I do.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go, I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. I promise. We made a promise. Vignier. Vignier. Please, Vignier. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case. The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vignier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria and began to However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president, Callus. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves!
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well...
Yippee! We helped Navia bring... He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally... Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy.
Yeah. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the...
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to, so...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with...
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for...
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct... The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Miss Guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just—
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Nouvelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it! I don't know what happened there either! Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the oratrice's
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was—
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my end. Of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and all shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take—
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just—
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
All right. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff. So...
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the—
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vacher? I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up, you've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it? The Fountain of Lucine? Then... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the...
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like—
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual need? Very well.
Your Honor.
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall—
Thank you, Your Honor. Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you?
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it. So you heard it too.
Vignier, it's me! It's me!
Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vignier?
Hey, wait! Be careful!
Vignier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like that? Vignier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could...
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old, and it's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
You... Wait, you are not Vignier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vignier. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignier.
Why? But then, where is Vignier?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
No! Vignier! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from... But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Huh. Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss...
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days now.
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop... Everyone from Spina di Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back... This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court all
So his name's definitely been cleared now.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago. Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. I believe the story was called The True Heart of Dark. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good... She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial
Oh yeah, she told us about that. She's always been super interested in...
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound...
Now that's another thing to look forward to.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarande out for a meal.
Oh, are you two on better...
While you were investigating Vaché's headquarters, Clarande gave testimony. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being...
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarande wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have...
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's...
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave and tell him the truth. And on top of that, just how much people still look up to him. To the...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop. This is where my father's grave...
Huh? There's someone there already.
Hmm?
Isn't that Nervalette? Why would the Chief Justice be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown. But still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief...
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callis proved me utterly, and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice that's higher than... So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the Opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm so you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh?
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their... Let's not disturb them for now. We can... Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do it? Huh? Oh, Paimon didn't know that was a thing. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too... Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so...
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to...
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her.
I see. Then is there some...
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like...
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure.
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primal...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this...
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it...
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from...
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people. Is there anything else you'd... That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be final. Does that appropriately summarize the version?
That's right! It was Linny that...
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon?
2 parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels, and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, if the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we...
Is there anything else you'd like to ask? My apologies. My investigation. However, I still believe the judgment of the...
But you...
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the... As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other... Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this.
Huh. So when Linny told told us that he heard a human.
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time to... While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fort. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the full.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like? Your sibling, another blonde-haired traveler. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Very well. It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind, and return to...
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respect.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well.
All right, you... Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped. Why don't we go back to the Spina di Rosula base in the court of Fontaine and have a rest? Navia said something about having a place ready for us there, didn't she?